you enter our doors, you're met with kindness and care. Our reception area is designed to be more than just a waiting room. It is a place of calm, thoughtfully created to ease the weight of grief. In our private conference room, conversations are guided by empathy. Here, our client experience coordinators sit beside you, not just across the table to help plan a service that truly reflects your loved one's story. Whether it's a traditional farewell or a personalized celebration of life, we take time to understand your wishes and offer thoughtful guidance. At the heart of our organization is a dedicated manager who ensures that everything runs smoothly, from the smallest detail to the final farewell. We understand that choosing a casket or a coffin is a deeply personal decision. In our selection room, we provide a calm, respectful environment where families can take their time and explore options that reflect their loved one's life, beliefs, and preference. Our spacious chapel is where memories are honored and lives are celebrated. Designed with serenity and warmth, it provides a welcoming space for families and friends to come together in reflection and remembrance. For families choosing cremation, we offer on-site professional cremation services in a setting that upholds dignity, peace, and confidentiality. Our crematorium offers a seamless and respectful alternative to traditional burial, giving families flexibility while maintaining the highest standard of care.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. My name is Akinlabi Hole. I'm your host for this morning, Friday, the 21st of November. Yes, we are at the end of the work week. You know I love it when Friday comes around. We have a very interesting show for you all this morning, and I hope that you're up and you're ready to go. It's the last day of the week. Give it that final push of energy, and then maybe you could relax tomorrow and get your, get some working at home and recharge your batteries and be ready to go again on Monday. We have very interesting topics, like I said, and you know that on Fridays we usually speak about our sports. We have some things to talk about with Marcus Daniel this morning concerning Trinidad and Tobago national men's football team and the state of the national team. But this morning, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final day of our week of International Men's Day celebrations, and I have in studio with me Mr. Daniel Jack. He is my co-host this morning.
Hi, thank you, Akinlabi, and thank you for welcoming me this morning. I appreciate the opportunity to be here as a part of the International Men's Celebration. I'm just excited to be here and I'm excited to have the conversation.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have Daniel Jack with us this morning. He's wrapping up the week of celebrations. And before we get into any conversations, we go over now to Jamal Brown for news in 90 seconds.
Good morning, I am Jamal Brong, and here's what's making your news in 90 seconds for Friday, November 21st, 2025. Last evening, the Tobago Council of the People's National Movement continued the unveiling of its selected candidates for the upcoming THA election at the Calder Hall multipurpose facility. Dozens of supporters gathered at the venue, erupting into celebration at the announcement of Councillor Petal Daniel Benoit as a selected candidate for Scarborough-Montgrace electoral district. Addressing the crowd, Daniel Benoit listed a plethora of needs currently plaguing the community, including the abandoned play park and impassable roads. She pleaded with the constituency to support her in the upcoming election as they build Scarborough-Montgrace into a, quote, more safer, united, and great community, end quote. Also introduced to the supporters as the representative for Bacalet Bagatelle was retired TTPS Inspector Dexter Miller, who said he has been a part of the promises that have not materialized. Miller said, under the People's National Movement, that neglect will change. The party moves to Charleville Public Library on Saturday nights. Up next, staying on news of politics, Tobago People's Party councillor Petal Ann Roberts has revealed what one of her greatest challenges has been in the role as Secretary for the Division of Finance, Trade and the Economy during her 17-month tenure. Speaking during Tobago Updates beneath the service series yesterday morning, Roberts said she now understands why her party's political enemies, frankly naming the People's National Movement, are currently in the opposition. Further, adding that stepping into the role, she knew political rivalry was an element. However, she never anticipated the extent it would go. Having served in the same division as technocrat under former Chief Secretaries Orville London, Kelvin Charles, and Ansel Dennis, she said working alongside Chief Secretary Farley Augustine brings youth and a readiness to get things done. And finally, as the world observed International Children's Day yesterday, the Ministry of Education announced plans to restrict unhealthy foods in the nation's schools. Speaking to a joint select committee yesterday, the ministry's permanent secretary, Claudel Michela, said high rates of childhood obesity and non-communicable diseases amongst children was a worrying trend. She said the ministry is reviewing its dietary program, including meals served through the school nutrition program and examining cafeteria policies, with guidance from the Ministry of Health. Following the 2017 restriction of high sugary drinks, the ministry intends to crack down on high-fat snacks. These stories and more in our major newscast at 6:30 p.m. Be viewing Tobago Updates Television. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Thank you very much, Jamal Brown, for that news in 90 seconds. And we're seeing, Daniel, where the government is making moves to really limit the kind of unhealthy snacks that our children consume in school. I think that, for me personally, I think that's a very good move. We've been having issues concerning the diets, not just of children, but of children and adults in Trinidad and Tobago, and how it's been causing a lot of non-communicable diseases and putting pressure on our healthcare system over the years. And to see that they're making this move is really a welcomed one, in my opinion.
Yes, I believe it's a good initiative as well, because, you know, as somebody who snacks himself, I know that it's something that I need to monitor, because, you know, these things as we get older, they can affect us in the long run. So it's important if you get it control as a young and then get them programmed. You know, they're going to be more accustomed, so they're going to be healthier things as they go along, you know, increase the diet and, you know, make it look a little better for them as in the long run. Yes,
and what do you think about it, Jamal? What is your position on these high-fat snacks and sugary drinks that we expose our children to in our schools?
I think the initiative is a good one. Being a student, just entering high school during 2017 when the ban on high sugary drinks was effected, it was difficult going from primary school where you can easily access it to high school where it's not accessible because it was just banned. But during my tenure at school, I realized, yeah, this ban is a good thing. Going to Compre, where it's a large campus, I realized drinking the sugary drinks did not help with the walking about wild water. These were I drank more water that was a lot easier to handle. So I think that putting restriction on the high-fat snacks as well would be a great initiative to help the health of our young people.
Yes, yes. So we hope that that brings much success and it leads to healthier diets among our school children. We also see the political landscape in Tobago is heating up. Former councillor, minority councillor, Mrs. Danielle Benoit is putting her hat in the ring, going up for representational politics. Interesting times ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, no, seriously. And I like how they would have highlighted the fact that they want to, fix the roads, because coming down the road this morning, I could have felt like a drop in a pothole with music stop, I'm grateful for that, that's an initiative that they said they're going to look into. That's something I could give you.
All right, thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. Thank you very much, Jamal, for joining us and giving us that news in 90 seconds, and we hope that you have a productive day. All right, viewers, it's that time of the program. It's that time to celebrate with those who are celebrating with us. It's time for our birthday shout-outs. Yes, and at Tobago Updates, we like to celebrate with those who are celebrating whatever you're celebrating. We want to know about it so that we and our viewers can celebrate with you. And first up, we want to say happy birthday to Miss Josanne Dyer. Happy birthday to you, Miss Dyer. We wish you God's richest blessings on your special day. We see you dress up very glam here. And we know that today you're going to even surpass this because you look like a very stylish woman. God's richest blessings to you. And we pray that you stay safe. We know the roads are wet. Go out and celebrate with your friends and don't get into too much trouble. Happy birthday to you. We continue and we say happy birthday to Miss Gardiner, Marissa Gardiner. Happy birthday to you, Marissa Gardiner. God's richest blessings on your day. Yes, He brought you into this world for a reason, and we hope that you are fulfilling your God-given purpose and that you are a blessing to all. Yes, you are a blessing to all, and that you are gifted with all the greatest riches. You have a nice breakfast, maybe a little French toast this morning, and a little hot chocolate. And you go for a nice dinner, some steak and maybe mashed potatoes. I'm not sure what it is people eat at these dinners. And we wish you God's richest blessings on your special day. And finally, we say happy birthday to Jason Phillips, also known as Tigger. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's a part of the media fraternity. Happy birthday to you, Mr. Tigger, a well-known DJ in Tobago. And we wish you God's richest blessings on your special day, and we hope that you're surrounded by friends and family and loved ones, and they shower you with blessings and good positive energy, and that all three of you will take your celebrations into the weekend. Yes, it's good to be alive. It's good to be in the land of the living. So, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you are celebrating, we hope that you can share that information with us, and we will celebrate with you. A birthday, an anniversary, you're moving into a new house, you have a new apartment, you have a new job, you started that business, you closed a new deal in your business, you sold your business to the highest bidder. Whatever you are celebrating, we want to celebrate with you. All right, Daniel, so who do we have up in this morning's program?
Well, today we have Mr. Dexter Miller, former TTPS inspector, P&M candidate for Mason House, Bagatelle, here to talk to us about men as our community leaders. And we also have ASP Sharon Williams, TTPS, also here to talk about the TTPS annual Christmas concert.
All right, so and finally wrapping up, we're going to have Marcus Daniel in, and myself and Marcus. We're going to have some conversations about sports. Yeah, we have a lot of developments in sports. We know that Signal Hill Secondary School is doing very well in the Premiership Division as well. They have a chance at winning it. They have a chance at actually clinching the title, and they will be the first Tobago school to ever win this new format of secondary schools football. So we have a lot to discuss. We want to thank you all for viewing with us on our Facebook Live or YouTube page, 102 on AMPLIA, 121 and 130 on Flow, and 33 on Digicel, wherever you're viewing with us, whether it's Tobago, Trinidad, the Caribbean region, or beyond that. We thank you very much. Up next, we have Dexter Miller, former TTPS inspector, P&M candidate for Mason North South, Bagatelle, and he's going to be talking to us about men as community leaders. So do us a favor, share that live, share the live, share the live. Dexter Miller is up next after the break.
is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show. Live more.
Quartz is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Quartz Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Quartz Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
Who said the elderly can't have fun too? We're talking good food, proper music, lots of games, and a day at the beach they will never forget. From the time we left the compound at Heavenly Care Home for the Elderly, the vibe was already established. Wheels up and seatbelts on. Watch now, when we touched down in Pigeon Point, everybody was ready for excitement. But before anything could take place, we had to secure bellies. You ever play bingo by the beachside? Well, that was the first activity on the roster, and boy did these seniors have fun. However, others wanted something more physical, so we brought out the ring toss, and not even arthritis could have stopped them. Well, I was blown away at how straight these people were. Are you sure this is a home for the elderly? Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday, but nothing beats the song of Good Steel Pan by the shores while we take a dip in Tobago's finest water. Wait, more food again? This is my type of event. The energy was amazing and nothing short of a blessing. Pick up Heavenly Care Home for the Elderly, because joy doesn't retire, laughter doesn't age, and memories like these last forever.
To a stranger, we waiting so long, the people miss the bacchanal.
Tobago. The countdown is on for Tobago Day 2025. From November 27th to December 6th, the island comes alive under the theme One Tobago, One People, One Destiny.
The celebration begins with the Tobago Torch Run, led by the Chief Secretary, Assemblyman, and our proud sporting groups.
Then, on November 28th, the THA Triathlon takes center stage. On November 29th, we all head to the Shore Park Recreational Grounds for the Tobago Games, Sports and Family Day, games we used to play from 6 p.m.
Join us on December 2nd for the Thanksgiving Harvest Service at the Shore Park Complex from 10 a.m.
Bring your Tobago produce, share your blessings, and celebrate community. Then, December 3rd and 4th, discover our roots on the Scarborough Heritage Bus Tours. 2 daily departures at 9 a.m. and 1 p.m.
On December 4th, witness excellence at the Tobago Day debate beginning at 10 a.m. at the Assembly Legislature.
And the Tobago Day Awards ceremony 7 p.m. at the Shore Park Complex.
And for the grand finale,
December 6th, the cultural concert and drone show lights up the Scarborough Esplanade from 7 p.m. It's all about Tobago Day 2025. One Tobago, one people, one destiny.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, 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 good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show. And we have in studio with us Mr. Dexter Miller, who is a former TTPS inspector, PNM candidate for Mason South Bagatelle, and he's here to speak with us as men, as community leaders. Good morning and welcome, sir.
Morning. Thank you all for having me.
So firstly, I want to say congratulations to you on becoming the PNM candidate. It's commendable that you're putting your hat in the ring. You know, it's very difficult for persons to really put themselves out there in the public and be up for public scrutiny. So congratulations on that, and we commend you on this brave step forward. But you're here really to talk about men as community leaders. Why do you think that this topic is something that really needs to come to the fore of public discourse?
Well, men as community leaders, when we look at the society now and how the trend is going, especially with the men, the young men, you know, it is important for us to understand that the male in the community as a leader has a very pivotal role to play with the example he sets. You know, it is important for us to understand that there's a direction that needs to change with men. When we walk around the streets, we see them, you know, they're idle sometimes, they have nothing doing. The way we see our fathers before and the roles they used to play in this society, it is kind of frightening at the direction of how the young men are going now.
And what exactly do you, when you talk about the direction young men are going, if you could be a bit more explicit in terms of that, and where you think we should pull them back and the direction that they need to go in?
Well, in terms of, you know, men will consider the head, the pillar, the strength, you know, and we see over time some of the values that our foreparents as male instill into us are slowly degenerating. You know, we don't take significant stand in things as we used to before. So when you look at all those factors and how we are going as a society, we have to definitely look at what is happening with the men.
Yeah, and you mentioned there men not taking a significant stance in things as we used to. What are some of those moral issues you think that men don't take those stances in anymore?
Well, for one, parenting. We know our parents are rigid. You know, when you see your father a long time, sometimes you don't want to do anything wrong. You know, you're trying to go straight. The male school teacher, how much male school teachers are you seeing now? Even in some of the most dominant workplaces now, we are seeing a shift in what we used to know as male-dominated environment.
Spaces, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not that we commend the females for stepping up, but the men, for some reason, we are lagging behind in certain areas that we used to dominate.
Aye, and Mr. Miller, what are some, I know you've been talking about that, I say that the direction these men are going. What are some of the initiatives that think we could put in place that we could guide these young men to right back onto the path, you know, that they could be more upstanding men, and, you know, because at the end of the day, we need more upstanding men, I mean, like people like you, who will be able to advocate for us, because, you know, we as men, we have problems and we have issues, and if it is we could program them from, you know, young, you know, I think it would be a better for us in the long run. So what are some of the initiatives we could do to help with that?
Well, in everything, we get to the root cause of the situation. So male mentorship, you know, training from young at the tender age to adapt to the changes of the world now, exposing them to situations, educating, you know. So we don't just allow for the social media to train our young men. You know, we are the examples in the society. Even in our institutions, we see the leaders, and I'm going to limb here, even in our institutions, in the society, we see the leaders not even giving us a good example.
So you're talking about men as community leaders. Now, I remember back in the day when I used to sit down and watch news as a child. We used to talk about crime and particular community leaders. When you're saying community leaders, be explicit. What do you mean by community leaders?
Well, you see, my interpretation of what I mean of community leader is the person who, in the community as a male, people look up to you. People look at your example. They want to relate to you. They want to hear from you. You know, you are the person they go to in situations to mediate, you know, sometimes to intervene. You know, sometimes in the community, call Mr. Miller for me. It is happening. People do that with me all the time. You know, Mr. Miller, we have a situation here. We want you to come and see about it. We want to look into it. We want you to call the police for us. You know, give us an advice. So, based on how you channel your example coming up, because people know you from even your family background and coming up through your years, they see you as a community leader in the real sense.
So you're speaking about community leaders within a positive impact, because a lot of those things that you said, we could look at gang leaders doing those same things. People going to gang leaders for help, going to them for advice, going to them for assistance with whatever it is, you know, they look up to them, all that thing. But you're talking about those same qualities, but within a positive light. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So then, what is Dexter Miller proposing to do as a community leader in terms of, you're saying we need all these things. What do you think that you can do or different men can do within their communities?
Well, each community has positive male role models. And there's a gap in the generation that some of the older men don't want to mix with some of the younger men. How do we break that stigma of thought? You know,
Right.
how do we get back that mix that bridges that gap? And each community has people you can identify and say, listen, let us come together as the older male and reach out to the younger ones. They may not be mature enough to do the initiative. So there's a responsibility on each generation to set the tone for the one to come.
Right.
So it's a matter of recognizing the situation and coming together to try to change the trajectory of how it's going.
And the older generation, as you say, is reluctant to interact with the younger generation. What do you think that the older generation would need to really change their mindset in terms of their willingness to reach out to the younger generation to give some guidance?
Well, it's a twofold situation, because you see, we have to give respect to those who has earned that respect from us. If we recognize that there are community leaders who have earned that respect, we give them that respect. You know, you see in many communities, some of the younger ones don't even know who are the significant male examples in the community. You know, they're just growing without knowledge. So we have to tell them, listen, you see 12 down the road, Mr. Tom lived down there. Mr. Tom was a man that my father used to interact with, and Mr. Tom was a shopkeeper, Mr. Tom was a teacher, Mr. Tom was a policeman, Mr. Tom was a fireman. You know, and we get to continue to let Mr. Tom know that he can play a significant part, even though he's retired, you know, and keep him active in the community situation.
So you're stating that you stated that, still on the topic of the older generation not wanting to interact with the younger ones. But does that not raise the issue or the problem of the older generation of feeling a sense of responsibility in terms of guiding the younger generation?
In a sense, yes, but why did they meet to that stage? How did they meet to that stage? I mean, you would have played a role in society. You are a positive contributor. Let's say, for example, you are retired, or even though you are not retired, you're playing a positive role, but you're seeing what's going on with your neighbor. You can't even talk to the neighbor's son. You know, you see him passing the road, he's not even dressed properly. You know, you're not seeing that need to reach him. You prefer to withdraw yourself and say, see me, let me keep my distance. And that is not helping us.
All right. So, in terms of you're speaking now, you're hinting now towards the breakdown in terms of family structures, family values, that kind of thing. What do you think us as men can do to sort of repair that family structure, repair those family values?
I hear people that say sometimes, bend the tree. You don't need to bend the tree while it's young. You need to straighten the tree while it's young. And we need to go back to the fundamentals of the Bible. That where the man was originally ordained by God to fulfill a role. And if we start at the root of the problem, we will change how the tree is growing.
You spoke about the church or the God-ordained role of men. And where do you think men working in NGOs can partner with religious organizations to really bring about that rescuing of the younger generation of men and fixing and mending our societies?
Well, it is supposed to be a stakeholder involvement. The NGO, the church, the boys brigade, the cadets, you know. If we come together, we sit and we have a discussion as to how we can approach the situation, community by community, public school, adapter school, find a way to reach these young men at their level, rather than just sit back and expect them to come to us. We begin to solve the problem.
Now, we're speaking about men as community leaders, and I agree that men need to take the lead in terms of the addressing or the empowerment or the fixing, however you want to label it, of the issues and ills that men face. But men don't live in a society by themselves. We also live in a society, 50% roughly, women as well.
Yeah.
How important would you say is the allyship of women in helping to address these issues of men?
Well, it is important because you need that correlation. The women have their role to play. The men have their role to play, but sometimes because we are men, the woman will be highlighting something that is significant. But we would think we are the man, we're not supposed to listen to her. We're supposed to be the one to tell she. And life has moved away from that. You have to have that balance in every aspect, in the workplace, in the home, don't care what you do, you have to find that balance. And more often than not, the woman will be giving a suggestion that really can work. There's that instinct in them that can assist. But because we are male and the ego sometimes get the better of us, we don't pay any attention to the significance, not just what they are saying, but the significance of what they are saying.
And how do you think we could work on that ego issue? Because I think that ego issue is pretty significant. Is a big hindrance towards men really getting to fix some of the problems. Because the ego is so huge that they think that actually admitting that there's a problem is a problem, you know? How would we get to that point of really confining, I don't say confining, but what's the word I'm looking for? But, you know, limiting the ego, you know.
Well, the ego, let me tell you how the ego comes about. You see, long time when I tell you, you're not supposed to cry as a man. You know, your father, somebody tell you, you're not supposed to cry as a man. See that? They build in you a certain barrier that gives you that border in your head that there are some things a man is not supposed to do. But we are all human, you know, and we are not exclusive to the problem, to the emotion, to the heartache, to the headache. We are not exclusive. So stop building young men with this barrier. Stop building them with this armor that says you're invincible and this can't happen to you.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Dexter Miller, I wish we could continue this conversation because it's a really, really interesting one, but unfortunately we run out of time. I want to thank you very much for coming in and speaking with us on this important issue as men as community leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers, we have to go for a short break, but up next, we have Miss Sharon Williams of the TTPS, and she's coming in to speak to us about the TTPS annual Christmas concert. That proves to be a treat. I believe it's this weekend, so it's going to be a very interesting conversation with her. But do us a favor. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back after these messages.
We waiting so long, the people miss the bacchanal.
Tobago. The countdown is on for Tobago Day 2025. From November 27th to December 6th, the island comes alive under the theme One Tobago, One People, One Destiny.
The celebration begins with the Tobago Torch Run, led by the Chief Secretary, Assemblyman, and our proud sporting groups.
Then, on November 28th, the THA Triathlon takes center stage. On November 29th, we all head to the Shore Park Recreational Grounds for the Tobago Games, Sports and Family Day, games we used to play from 6 p.m.
Join us on December 2nd for the Thanksgiving Harvest Service at the Shore Park Complex from 10 a.m.
Bring your Tobago produce, share your blessings, and celebrate community. Then, December 3rd and 4th, discover our roots on the Scarborough Heritage Bus Tours. 2 daily departures at 9 a.m. and 1 p.m.
On December 4th, witness excellence at the Tobago Day debate beginning at 10 a.m. at the Assembly Legislature.
And the Tobago Day Awards ceremony, 7 p.m. at the Shore Park Complex.
And for the grand finale,
December 6th, the cultural concert and drone show lights up the Scarborough Esplanade from 7 p.m. It's all about Tobago Day 2025. One Tobago, one people, one destiny.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So, even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Springs. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Tobago, are you ready for the magic of Christmas? The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is bringing the spirit of the season to you with their annual Christmas concert, Someday at Christmas. Picture a spectacular evening of music, festive lights, and world-class performances. This is a must-attend event to kick off your Christmas season. Join us on Saturday, 22nd November 2025. We'll be at the Shore Park Complex in Scarborough. Come dressed to impress. Mess kit for military and semi-formal for all or non-military guests. Doors open at 7 p.m. and the curtain goes up at 8 p.m. showtime. Don't be left out. Secure your invitation to be presented for seating. That's the TTPS annual Christmas concert on Saturday, 22nd November 2025 at the Shore Park Complex. It will be a night you won't soon forget. Tickets available at the Shore Park box office from Thursday, 13th November 2025. And remember, tickets are free.
Yes. Welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. And we see there the Tobago Police Band annual Christmas concert. And we have in studio with us ASP Sharon Williams of the TTPS. And she's here to talk about the annual Christmas concert. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So, ASP Williams, tell us, how long has this concert been going on for?
Right, and I'm glad you asked that, right? Now, the band dates back to way in the 80s. It's 1869 to be correct. And, excuse me. And the concert has since started over 50 years ago.
Wow.
Right? Now, when the band had started, they were basically doing concerts and community concerts, playing with the parades and so forth, little engagement within the police service. And now the bands have since evolved and include we now have the steel band section of it and so forth. Now this annual concert is one of the staple items for the band, right? And it's the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service gift to the communities. I know that based on how the concerts were, right, that has also evolved. The concert used to basically feature police officers, showing them in a different light, right, outside of law enforcement. And we have since evolved and include members of our communities, because one of our major pillars in the police service is community engagement, right? So we now include members of our communities in the concerts.
And is this concert is usually done in Tobago and in Trinidad?
Yes, it is. We have 3 legs of the concert. Now, last weekend we were in South. This week we are in Tobago. And in December, the concert will be held in Port of Spain. So this week, Saturday, the 22nd of November, it's our turn in Tobago to have the concert.
All right. So tell us some of the persons that will be featured, or some of the groups that will be featured in the concert this year.
All right. Some of the persons, as you said, we know we have police officers, and one of them is known to us in the entertainment realm. That's it, one of Lynette Louis, right? And there are others, groups such as, we have the police division choir, police service, Tobago division's choir as well, right? Now, other groups outside of that, we have Chance to Dance and also Dance and Psalm. We also feature the police youth club members as well.
Okay, that's very interesting that you're featuring the police youth club members as well. That's very interesting. In what kind of regard are they featured? Are they part of the band, or do they have their own items to perform?
They have their own items to perform. So we have Mount St. George Youth Club, who will be entertaining us at the beginning of the show. Well, at the entrance, they will be doing a drumology and also giving us some pan rendition. We have the the Roxborough Police Youth Club as well, who would be doing a rendition on pattern as well. We have some individual performances as well from members of the youth clubs.
Okay, and Miss Miss Williams, I remember as a child, my grandparents would often carry me to police concerts. One specifically was at the AMPLIA Theatre, which part of the library is now. I'm not too sure if that would have been the same Christmas concert, but I remember, this guy used to play the saxophone, and I was like, wow, I wish I could play the saxophone like he's Sunday. Is that the same Christmas concert, or is that something else?
Well, I believe that one would be a community concert, but what sometimes happens is that we through open air concerts in different communities across the island and invite persons to come. And I'm happy that you said that, you used to be impressed with what you saw, right? And it may inspire, these concerts may inspire someone to come on board, whether it's with the band or in terms of the police service on a whole.
Yes, so for persons who want to attend, just give them some information in terms of location, cost, the date of when the concert is.
Right, the concert is free of charge, because it's our gift to the community. Right, it's our gift to Tobago. Right, it's on Saturday, the 22nd of November. That's tomorrow. This Saturday, at the Shore Park Cultural Complex. Doors open at 7. The show time is from 8 p.m.
One last thing, we're talking about the police band, and I was very curious to find out, is it that the members of the band are all police officers, or is it that members of the public could also join the band?
Right, in this case, all members of the police band are police officers. So you go through the same transition and join the band, the same selection process, and you could join the police band.
And is it that you have to come in as a seasoned musician, or they teach you the music as you show interest in joining the band?
I think they can teach you, but however, it would be better, it is better that you have some experience in terms of music. But yes, there could be a transition process.
Okay, so just before we wrap up the interview, could you just give one last pitch of the police concert? Persons might be home on a Saturday evening and they may not have anything to do. They're wondering what to do, so give that one last sell.
Right, Tobago, this is your turn. This is the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service gift to you, right, to kickstart your Yuletide season. So we're asking you to come out. This gift is for you. Saturday, the 22nd of November, 2025 at Shore Park Cultural Complex. Doors open at 7. Showtime is at 8 p.m. and it's free.
All right, viewers, you heard that. Free. Tomorrow, Saturday, 22nd November. Doors open at 7. The show starts at 8. It promises to be a treat, as it usually is every year. And we want to thank you, ASP Sean Williams, for coming in and speaking to us about this annual Christmas concert and raising awareness. Hopefully, members of the public will take advantage of this very opportunity to be entertained and to experience something that is quite magical on a yearly basis. And we thank the TTPS for giving this gift back to the community of Tobago. Viewers, we have to go for a short break, but when we come back, it will be Marcus, Daniel, and Akinlabi Holder. And we're going to have some serious conversations about sports in Tobago and in Trinidad and Tobago. Our national football team and Signal Hill, we have to talk about these people. We have to talk about them, So do us a favor. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back with Sports Talk after these messages.
We waiting so long, the people miss the bacchanal.
Tobago. The count. 5. From November 27th to December 6th, the island comes alive under the theme One Tobago, One People, One Destiny.
The celebration begins with the Tobago Torch Run, led by the Chief Secretary, Assemblyman, and our proud sporting groups.
Then, on November 28th, the THA Triathlon takes center stage. On November 29th, we all head to the Shore Park Recreational Grounds for the Tobago Games, Sports, and Family Day games we used to play from 6 p.m.
Join us on December 2nd for the at the Shore Park Complex from 10 a.m.
Bring your Tobago produce, share your blessings, and celebrate community. Then, December 3rd and 4th, discover our roots on the Scarborough Heritage Bus Tours. 2 daily departures at 9 a.m. and 1 p.m.
On December 4th, witness excellence at the Tobago Day debate beginning at 10 a.m. at the Assembly Legislature.
And the Tobago Day Awards ceremony, 7 p.m. at the Shore Park Complex.
And for the grand finale,
December 6th, the cultural concert and drone show lights up the sky from 7 p.m. It's all about Tobago Day 2025. One Tobago, one people, one destiny.
Who said the elderly can't have fun too? We're talking good food, proper music, lots of games, and a day at the beach they will never forget. From the time we left the compound here, the vibe was already established. Wheels up and on. When we touched down in Pigeon Point, everybody was ready for excitement. But before anything could take place, we had to secure bellies. You ever play bingo by the beachside? Well, that was the first activity on the roster, and boy did these seniors have fun. However, others wanted something more physical, so we brought out the ring toss, and not even arthritis could have stopped them. Well, I was blown away at how straight these people were. Are you sure this is a home for the elderly? Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday, but nothing beats the song of Good Steel Pan by the shores while we take a dip in Tobago's finest water. Wait, more food again? This is my type of event. The energy was amazing and nothing short of a blessing. Pick up Heavenly Care Home for the elderly, because joy doesn't retire, laughter doesn't age, and memories like these last forever.
To a stranger.
How it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show. Live more.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning.
Good morning and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, and we in our sports talk segment, and I have here with me Mr. Marcus Daniel, Mr. Cricket himself. Good morning and welcome, sir.
Hi, good morning to Akinlabi and good morning to viewers of Tobago television. Yeah, look, the most exciting time, on Tobago television, yeah, Tobago Updates television every Friday morning with
Yes.
But I want to also extend, Men's Day, International Men's Day, celebrated Wednesday. We're recognizing the day week. In fact,
petition. You could write a petition.
When I listen to radio stations and television stations and I view television stations, no kind of promotion about men. So no, we had a big up men throughout the society, and of course continuing what's inside. Although we don't get the appreciation and recognition in that sense, society.
So we're talking national team. Let's talk about what they want to call them, Calypso Kings. I'm not sure.
Let's refer to them as Tobago this morning, right? Yeah, because next thing we get lawsuit. So we call them Soca Warriors. But it's hard to get away from the name Soca Warriors. But Akinlabi, I mean, I was hopeful. I'm always optimistic when it comes to the teams I support. I mean, big up Manchester United one time and the West Indies. But yes, I'm always optimistic whenever they play because on their they do well.
Yes.
And under Dwight York, I saw drastic improvement with the team. There was structure. There was something looking like a football team and looking like a team that can win matches.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the campaign was a failed campaign. We're not going to be going to the World Cup this time around. Although I felt it was the easiest opportunity for us to actually qualify, given that the USA, Canada, and Mexico are the host countries, and they did not compete in the qualifying games. But what gave me some kind of comfort is that Jamaica looking like they ain't qualifying either. They're looking like they're not qualifying, and in fact their coach resigned.
Yes, resigned.
And I think that was very poor of him because the campaign ain't finished, and you just decide that you're gonna just lead them and ride out. It means that you really had for me, your heart wasn't in it in the first place because yesterday is an opportunity to qualify through the playoffs, and I'll feel good, and I think Jamaicans will feel good if they qualify without him because they felt that he should not have been appointed as a coach and they should have given a local. Hence the reason I'm happy that Dwight York would have taken the opportunity to come back and coach a team. I felt that we could have or should have beaten Jamaica at home. We played all over Jamaica, and it was just unfortunate that we couldn't find the back of the net when we needed to. Most importantly, and Jamaica scored, and we ended with a 1-1 draw. Good thing is that they didn't beat us, and I think it aided us in terms of standings. When FIFA sent out their standings, we can come down from that 100 and something to at least under 100. But all in all, as I said, I'm hoping that the TTFA, they can keep Dwight York on as a coach, and he can now have the team around him in terms of management, where they can go into the schools, and not just secondary schools, but even primary, and they get a program to develop the players and look at how we're going to go forward in the next 4 years, because every national team, your goal is to get to the highest level, and the highest level is the World Cup. You understand? So now is the opportunity for him and the TTFA to sit down, give them your plans and what you want from them that we can build from now for the next 4 years.
Well, Marcus, for me, I have a bit more, I guess a bit more controversial point of view. I never believed that we would win the World Cup.
And as football, because what?
When you look at Trinidad and Tobago football, Trinidad and Tobago football has been in crisis for 20 years, Marcus. If you're in crisis for 20 years, there's no way you could just magically get up and qualify for the World Cup. Even though they expand the amount of teams from CONCACAF, even though we have three of the three most competitive teams already hosting, so they don't have to compete. But
grandfather, and the grandmother,
right?
The grandmother.
Even when you look at all of that, I did the calculation. There were at least 12 teams apart from Canada, Mexico, and there was 9 teams in CONCACAF that were better than Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, but the group that we
I'm talking beginning, right?
Okay,
the very beginning of the qualifying round. So I never believed that we would have qualified. But I want to say something.
Better in terms of rankings.
Yes, better in terms of rankings. But I want to say something, and in terms of the program too, right? They were more progressive than the program as well. But I want to say something. Even though that we didn't qualify for the World Cup, and I thought that there were so many other teams in CONCACAF that were better than us, and we weren't prepared for the campaign, we weren't prepared to qualify for the World Cup. I'm still very proud of Trinidad and Tobago. Because when you look at where Trinidad and Tobago's football has come from, we just come out of crisis.
That's what I'm telling you.
We just
Yes.
To go from where we were to actually reach the final stages of qualification is an amazing feat for Trinidad and Tobago football.
And to be, I mean, every time we play against Jamaica, there's licks. And I felt that the first leg in Jamaica, we all played Jamaica. We scored actually 3 goals, but they were called offside. From Levi Garcia. Even Curacao, we played Curacao at home. We should have defeated Curacao at home. So normally, playing against those teams that can be, as you mentioned before now, we were getting licks. We were getting licks, sure getting licks. And what I was very, very impressed with, the marketing of the games as well. And it got so much so that we had sold out games. When last you see the armies, the comfort stadium, sold out for matches. And people weren't getting tickets to go into matches. So the country bought into the campaign. And it says that what Dwight York and the management of TTFA did, they would have done extremely well. And I'm hoping that they can continue that drive. Because to get the team playing for the country had to know what the team doing.
No, the grandfather clause will help Trinidad in terms of talent,
immensely.
Right? But we cannot make the same mistake that Jamaica has made.
Yes.
Jamaica abused the grandfather clause.
Yes.
And because they abused the grandfather clause, the team didn't have no kind of cohesion, and that's why they end up not qualifying.
There's a saying: charity begins at home and ends abroad.
And so there's a lot of calls now from Jamaica. Still a lot more the local players, because the local players would have had better synergy, they'd have given more energy, they'd have a better drive. Because a lot of these players that they're bringing in, they're literally Englishmen that have Jamaican parents, they have no real connection to the country.
You mentioned a good word there, synergy. Because when you play in team sport, you need to get that synergy. And then what Dwight York would have done, he started with the local players, he weeded out the best, and then he got some others from outside coming in. So he understood what he needed to do, and I felt he merged the local players with the players from outside as well. And I could have seen the energy and the synergy in the team. And one player that stood out to me, and I'm hoping that he has some big contract somewhere other than where he's playing now, Spicer. That fella is really good. Above quality, can play in the Premier League. Very, very skillful, understands the game, and he created a lot of goal scoring opportunities, but we just couldn't finish. I mean, I felt that also Levi Garcia was playing in the wrong position for me. I don't think he's an out-and-out striker. He's dangerous on the flanks. And we kept putting him in that position, and he just couldn't finish. We had a man like Sturgeon in the position that Levi was playing.
He was scoring.
The opportunities that Sturgeon was scoring. So sometimes strikers like Ronaldo, them fellas know how to find goals. And they have fellas like Levi know how to course the ball and beat men along the flank. Ronaldo them can't do like what them fellas doing there. So sometimes I felt that he was played out of position, and when the going got tough, then York put him on the wing to get the balls in for them fellas to score. So as I said, I was happy with the transition. Gradually we saw we got better and better and we got better and we got better. And in the teams that we are customary to be losing against, we held them.
We were competitive.
I very much so. And I must say kudos to Trinidad and Tobago for showing up. Although we didn't show up much in the last game, that was understandable. But for showing up and representing the team, because when I saw other games we traveled to play again, the stadium that we played in half empty. You understand? So we bought into the team, and I said I really hope that the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association, they find a way to keep him on. Come at a cost, but I preferred what I don't want to see what happened with Jamaica happen with us, because they're well cussing the English guy, you know. Tell them go back and don't come back here. So let us
Jamaica's vexed right now.
They're
so angry.
They're plenty vexed.
And they have a good reason to be, because quite literally Jamaica was placed in the easiest group.
Jamaica have qualified.
Jamaica was placed in the easiest group, the least competitive group, which was Trinidad and Tobago.
That's why I said I wish I have qualified as well too. At least, if not top, go to the playoffs, you know. And we missed opportunities and goals win matches, you know. So kudos to the team, to the players that would have actually given their time to come and play for Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you, and I hope that whenever you are called to come and play, you come back and play. And it says, you know, the importance of having a coach with the stature of Dwight York that can command the respect in the dressing room and command the respect from the players. We have a good young team. In the next 4 years, we have the Gold Cup and all them different things to play. We can start from there, you know. And I mean, a lot of countries try to get to the World Cup, they didn't get you. So let us forget what happened in that and go forward.
Build towards 2030.
Build towards 2030, you know.
So Marcus, let's talk about schoolboy football now.
Yes.
Signal Hill is on the cusp of history. Let's talk about that.
And you know, we we came out of talking about Trinidad and Tobago's football and the importance of building. What we are seeing now with secondary school football, these guys are the future. And I'm happy to say Tobago is part of the future because, you see, Akinlabi, when you hear Premiership in Trinidad, you're thinking Malik, not even Malik, Naparima, St. Anthony's, them big teams. Gone are the days of beating Worldwide and beating Trinidad teams. Now we have a situation, after so many years, Signal Hill Secondary, they can actually win the Premiership, the Premiership title, and that is beyond exceptional. If they finish second at Akinlabi is a huge accomplishment. And if you look at the standings now, and just to give a breakdown, they have 2 matches remaining to compete this year's schedule, and they are currently in 5th position on 29 points. 28 points. So yesterday they would have mauled Trinity College East 9-2, which would have blustered their goal difference. Because you look at the top there, Naparima currently in what?
Naparima is first with 33
and 34 points, right? I'm looking at the points right now because we played against Malik on Monday, and I say we because I Signal Hill represent Tobago right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Although I bleed blue, right? Signal Hill playing against St. Benedict's currently in 12th position on Monday at Signal Hill. That's at 3:30 p.m. at Signal Hill. Now, by the looks of it, Malik in 12th, a goal difference of -8. You think that should be an easy contest for Signal Hill, but again, games are played on the day. And they will want to win that game at least 6-0 to at least go past Naparima's goal average, because they also have to win that game on Monday and then win on Thursday against Naparima. But that game against Naparima College is in Trinidad. So that will be like a final in a league in that sense. And I really wanted to get one of the coaches here today, but the coach declined to come on the interview because
they want to focus on the game.
So, and I cannot understand that. There's no distraction whatsoever there.
And you're talking about rebuilding, and I want to commend Donny for the work that he has done in Signal Hill, because there was a few years ago, Signal Hill was really in the doldrums. They weren't performing as everybody knows Signal to be. Sometimes they won't even win in the local league. They weren't in the Premiership, but Donny came in and he rebuilt the team. They got into the Premiership. They won the Tobago League. They won the Intercol title, and then they went on to get into the Premiership. And they survived, and now they're fighting for top spots.
There's like Speyside. I remember it's at a particular time where Speyside, they were dominating Tobago.
Yes, Speyside was dominating Tobago, yes.
They went to the Premiership and they got relegated and they're back in Tobago. I think they have won the Tobago League again. Right? So they most likely, once they have the funds, they will go back to the Premiership. But Signal Hill Secondary School, and I like how you commended Downey Marcel, because he seemed to have a structure and an idea of what it takes to play at the highest level, because Akinlabi, like it or not, you have to scout. And then when I say scout, you have to poach players as well too. Hey, come and play for Signal Hill. Come to the school. Go to the principal, go to this one, and again players to come into your school.
That's how the teams in Trinidad
is what they're doing.
That's what the teams in Trinidad
do. And then if you have players, like-minded players, playing for the same team, because sometimes Akinlabi, not everybody into the academics, but you can marry the two of them, because you still have to get some level of education in a sense. So Downey Marcel understands the system, because he has a club, Ball Blasters, and they've been doing exceptionally well when it comes to club football. So he has taken that into the school, and I'm sure it's a feeder for his club as well. So you go to Cumbria, and new players come inside Ball Blasters here, come and play here. So you have them playing together for club and playing together for school. And so you have to understand the system. And I mean,
he has done an amazing job.
Fantastic.
With Signal Hill.
And I'm happy that we are having this system here. So now we have players from Tobago who can put their hands up and say, hey, I'm good enough to qualify for the national teams, because we have a secondary schools team right up there in the Premiership division, because that's where they're scouting for youth players from, from the Premiership division. So should we go on when they go on to win? I mean, half of the teams to be from national teams to be from Tobago. Because yesterday we had Emmanuel Wright scoring a hat-trick. Kyle James, very impressed with Kyle James throughout. He's a cricketer as well. So if you want to play good in football, play cricket too. Right? Jermaine Morgan, he scored yesterday as well. And Marcel, that is Downey's son, he scored a double. And we had Nikhil Williams also scoring. So they had a 9-2 win yesterday, a very impressive 9-2 win. And I know the teacher there, Cyan Blackman, she was concerned because some of the guys got suspended for doing some stupidness. So she was concerned about the game yesterday. But when you have a team and not individual players, you can bring it from on the bench. There's
a structure. It's not based on individual talents shining. There's a structure.
So Monday, I'm expecting all of Tobago going to give him a nice send-off. by supporting them against Malik. As I mentioned before, games are played on the day, and you don't want to take anything for granted.
So what's the details about the match tomorrow?
On Monday?
On Monday with the match with Malik.
Yeah, so Monday, I said, is a must win again. They have to win their 2 games, Malik on Monday and then Thursday against Naparima.
Where they playing it? In Signal Hill?
Yes, in Signal Hill. Actually, by the Signal, not by the Signal Hill recreational ground, but Signal Hill.
The school?
The school ground.
The school ground. What time is that match?
3:30.
3:30. In case members of the public want to come out.
So 3:30 on Monday, and it's, I'm not sure if they charge a cover fee. They should charge a cover fee because it's also a fundraising opportunity, and everyone wants to see how they are playing, and they are playing good football. And what I like with them as well, their drama teacher, Ms. Blackman, they have their rhythm section. They get that vibe, they get that. Bringing back that college football vibes. I remember when I was going Scarborough, Akilabi and Scarborough playing. Shaw Park, ram out.
Yes.
So, and the support always there. You know, so we go to Trinidad as well. The community come out and support the football team. So Signal Hill, they have re-energized the Tobago public when it comes to secondary schools football. And I really want to wish the management, the school, everybody all the best come Monday and Thursday.
All right. Finally, we have some primary schools football going on.
Football again. You watch Ashes this morning?
I don't watch any Ashes this morning.
We can talk about that anyhow. But primary schools football, the finals Akilabi 2025 season, it's on today at the Dwight York Stadium. So you see where we started there with the senior team, then the secondary, and then with primary. So in terms of development, it seems that we have the things going in Trinidad and Tobago. So we have the primary school football finals today. We have the under 11, the girls, and then the under 15. And it's happening at the Dwight York Stadium starting at 10 a.m. The first game we have Scarborough RC versus Signal Hill. Boys under 11. Akilabi, you see that match there? That is problems. And I'm going to tell you why problems too, eh? You see the parents of them 2 schools there? They don't make joke at all. They show up and they just show off. So I expect that particular game, that under 11 boys under 11 game, to be closely contested and supported as well. I'm not too sure who's going to win that one. Signal Hill defending champions against Scarborough RC there. And then the girls, we have Signal Hill repeated again against WIM. WIM perennial champions with Bran and very, very strong there as well. And then the boys under 15, Bonaccord Government versus Pacer. That's a big one as well. So we have we have East and we have West and teams involved there. So guys, go out there and support all the schools today, the young players they're representing for their schools, of course, and their communities. Yeah, Akinlabi. Just before we wrap, Akinlabi, one or two other things I wanted to touch on. Phoenix finally won a game. They play in the Pro League in Trinidad. A very impressive game against Sawa Jabaliti. They won 3-2. I saw an impressive goal in that game from a long range. Yes. So they got their first win in four games. Obviously under new management, Nigel D'Souza no longer with the team, but they have new management and in terms of coaches and all these different things. So they'd have won their first game in Trinidad there. I want to also shout out to the Tobago Rugby Club. They are in Barbados to compete in a tournament there.
Sevens tournament?
Yeah, sevens tournament. And sevens tournament. And there's also a sevens tournament happening in Trinidad this weekend, where we have 2 Tobago players selected in the team, Keyshawn Walker and Mr. Bellington. So I want to wish them all the best there as well. And there's a cricket tournament which ends tomorrow in Lambo. Must end with cricket, Akinlabi. The Lambo Super 8, shout out to Assemblyman Wayne Clark for that tournament. He had 14 teams competing over 2 weeks, and it's going to end tomorrow, starting at 6 p.m. We have the 2 semi-final games, then we have an exhibition game, and then the grand final tomorrow at the Lambo Hard Court. So a lot of things happening in sport. Yes. And then today also, again in cricket, we have Joshua James from Tobago playing with the national team. The Super 50 started. That's the regional Super 50 tournament. Our first game was rained off against Barbados. Tomorrow, in fact today, they're playing against Jamaica in Trinidad. So I want to wish the team all the best and Joshua James all the best. I don't like when Ronald Wood come and stand right there and so yeah, watching that time. The producer watching us and telling us time. Yeah, to like,
so viewers, unfortunately, we have to wrap up our sports talk. We have come to the end of our programming for the Tobago Updates morning show. And maybe they may finally listen to Mr. Cricket himself, Marcus Daniel, and give him an hour-long program. We're waiting. The public is waiting. The producer here is laughing, but we really want the hour-long program. Up next, we have Beneath the Surface with Ria.
We have Natalie, you know.
Oh, sorry, Natalie, sorry. Up next, we have Beneath the Surface with Natalie. That Beneath the Surface programming is continuing. It's continuing on Monday, sorry, my apologies. Well, we have up next with Natalie, GMT with Natalie up next. So, viewers, do us a favor. Share the live, share the live, share the live. GMT is up next.
Because oncology is an illness that most people think is the end of life and oh gosh, my family member is dying, there are a lot of support for patients. Therefore, a lot of patients' relative the building that we now exist in is really small. We have 6 chairs in the waiting area, and then we cannot accommodate patients and relatives. If it rains, relatives have to find their cars. The sun is too hot, relatives have to find under trees. This situation was untenable. Therefore, the proposed move is welcome. I've been to the place, I've visited. The ambience is good. I know there is some construction done to me. And I do believe and I do feel that move, we will be able to enhance the care we give in various ways, because then we'll have space. Relatives will be able to come and sit with patients. That kind of intimate support will be there. For me, if I have to say yes or no to the move, I would have said yes in 2012, 2013, thereabout, when the population started growing. That is after we had started in 2010, and patients knew that we had services available in Tobago, and they start migrating from Trinidad. Definitely, patients, relatives would be happy. Patients would be happy. Staff would welcome, because the unit is definitely tight. One patient toilet. The situation is not good as it is.
About 40 years ago, I got into an accident, and I got a blow. It's terribly stuff now. And I had a scar. And I was always conscious of feeling the scar. So one day I felt it a little uncomfortable. And I started to check it, until I decided to have a checkup. The doctors and the nurses and them, they were really nice. You could see they were operating under duress. The place was uncomfortable, inadequate, not comfortable to sit for privacy. And but because it's cancer, because of doing it, and you want this service, you go get a reason. You look for somewhere else to go. But they needed to be paid.
This is where, for instance, if I have to speak to a family about going on with a patient, I have to have the patient and all the relatives in this space. It's not really conducive to that sort of conversation, especially if the news is not good. Normally after chemotherapy, we want to see you a week later to see how you're going and check your blood count, and then a lot of times that's a second journey to St. James. A lot of people would just disappear for 3 weeks, and we hope we when med session comes around, it would allow for patients to have a bit more privacy, and even have a relative come and spend some time with them while they're doing their treatment, if the treatment is going on for hours. Having greater privacy would make people at least more at peace to know that, just because I show up at that building, it doesn't necessarily mean that this is what I have. Treatment in a more beautiful environment, a more calming environment, could only make things easier for patients. They're going through enough as it is, just with the illness and diagnosis, and coming to grips with that.
Happy to know that you are doing something about it, but it's about time.
Tobago Day Awards 2025 celebrating excellence, dedication, and the people and organizations making a lasting impact on our island and its diaspora. From the Medal of Honor to the Diaspora Award, this is your chance to nominate those whose service, leadership, and achievements deserve the spotlight. Nominations close on September 30th, 2025. And remember, only online submissions will be accepted. Visit www.tha.gov.tt to submit your nomination today. Let's celebrate our Tobago Trailblazers together.
The Health Hygiene Lounge is a family-friendly designed to support the health and dignity of women and families. It features two main rooms. The first is the Menstrual Health Room, an educational and service-oriented space that promotes menstrual health, equity, and empowerment. The second is the Breastfeeding Room, a private, comfortable environment for nursing mothers. Together, these rooms reflect our commitment to maternal and child health.
I am thankful that this facility is now available. It really does provide a space for breastfeeding mothers to come here, whether with baby or just to pump during the workday and do that in comfort. It is an essential need, and just having this space makes it so much easier and provides that peace of mind.
I think this hygiene lounge is a step in the right direction. I think for a very long time, women have not had the opportunity to have a space that's private to deal with issues of menstruation or breastfeeding. So I think it's a step in the right direction. I really think that is something that should be adopted across the board through different divisions and private sector throughout the island.
This space is more than just four walls. It is a place of dignity. It is a safe space to speak, to learn, to advocate. It represents a commitment to stand in the gap for those who are unseen. Together, we can localize our efforts, streamline our objectives, and align our outcomes. By doing so, we move beyond temporary relief and a comprehensive solution that puts an end to stereotype, miseducation, and period poverty once and for all.
For that we stand with our growing families, and we are able to provide the kind of comfort that would make them happier.
The production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
The Tobago Day Awards 2025 are here. Celebrating excellence, dedication, and the organization's a lasting impact on our island and its diaspora. From the Medal of Honor to the Diaspora Award, this is your chance to nominate those whose service, leadership, and achievements deserve the spotlight. Nominations close September 30th, 2025. And remember, only online submissions will be accepted. Visit www.tha.gov.tt to submit your nomination today. Let's celebrate our Tobago Trailblazers together.
viewers, and thank you for staying with us. And for those now joining us, you are viewing GMT Good Morning Tobago. I am your host, Natalie Seeley Richardson. And yes, I know you have been anticipating and following the Beneath the Surface series with Rhea Richardson George. But you will see and hear Rhea on Monday as she continues that series. And I want to, of course, thank Rhea for doing a fine job and being part of our GMT crew for the last 3 weeks, I believe it is. Yes, but we're switching gears this morning. We have Miss Leanne Smart and Dr. Shepherd, Dr. Stephen Shepherd, who is joining us. They are both from Bago Beat Entertainment Limited. And if you have never heard about this institution or organization, you'll get to know about them this morning. And of course, they are getting ready for a huge event happening right here, and they want you to be a part of it. So good morning, Leanne.
Good morning.
And welcome to Tobago Update GMT this morning. And we have Dr. Shepherd, who is joining us virtually this morning. Good morning, Dr. Shepherd. All right. And of course, Leanne, I want to start off with you this morning. Okay. Tell us a little bit about who Bago Beat is.
All right. So good morning, everyone. So Bago Beat consists of 8 members. So this idea was birthed through Brother B, that's Mr. Brathwaite, right? So he had this notion, this idea of culinary showdown, want to collaborate or have other Caribbean islands come and, showcase their culinary talent and their culture and all these different things. And he wanted to showcase Tobago in that light. So they came up with a team. And, and so that's how it came together. Everybody have their own different skills, right? Different expertise in different areas and stuff. So we came together. Well, I started after the group was actually formed, right? So when I came in was because through my culinary experience or skills. So that's where
you fell in line.
Yes.
So we know that this Caribbean cuisine showdown is happening, and of course the goal of Bago Beat is to ensure that Tobago is well represented. Yes. So tell us about that event. I know something is happening pretty soon. So let our viewers know about this Caribbean cuisine showdown and how they can be a part of it.
Right. So the Caribbean cuisine showdown is scheduled to take place on the 30th until the 1st of May 2026, that's next year, right? It's a major regional event to bring Caribbean islands to showcase their culture and talent and creativity.
And when you talk about cuisine for Caribbean people, it's not just about the food, but it's a vibes, it's a bringing together, as you said, of the culture and the diversity of our people.
Right, so, and we want Tobago to be strongly represented in this Caribbean cuisine showdown, right? So this is a call basically for all, as much as we can get, right? Tobago participants to come out and, be a part of this event. So on the 30th of November of this month, which is next week, Sunday.
That's next week.
Right? We are having a preliminary session where persons are invited to bring a dish.
Okay.
Right? That showcase Tobago's cuisine, right? And the judging criteria will be based on taste, presentation, creativity, right? And you will come with this dish, and we have a panel of judges, about 4 or 5 judges, and we'll be tasting your food.
Right, so that's the first step. That's your preliminary. You're bringing your dish already prepared.
Right.
Right, it must be a Tobago dish.
Yes.
All right, so those of you who love the kitchen, all right, who love to cook, who like to say you are the best in the family, or whenever there's anything in the community, it's your pot after bubble, this is for you. So you are bringing your prepared dish to the food hub.
Good, and so it's at the Shore Park Food Hub, right? And there's also a registration fee of $200. It's a one-time payment, because after that first session on the 30th, we'll be choosing 5 persons or 5 teams that will be moving forward to the 7th of December. That's where the cooking competition, that's where the showdown will happen.
Okay, so when you say teams.
Right.
Tell us what you mean.
So the team will consist of the head chef, the main cook, a junior chef, a mixologist or bartender,
right?
Because we have that category as well, and 2 prep staff, because of course you have to have somebody to help with these things.
So for these kitchen connoisseurs, I'm giving out pretty names this morning, right? Those of you who are interested, keep in mind, because remember you're coming to win, right? Keep in mind you have to have your team. So don't wait until you get the call to look for your team. Come prepared. By the time you bring your audition, the preliminary round, you should know who your 4 people are already. You're coming, right? So come strong. Have that in mind.
So one of the things that we decided to throw in, right? So we're going to create a list with about 5 different entrees. And the 5 persons who will be, or the 5 teams, who will be advancing to the 7th of December, they have to choose. So we'll have the item,
and they're doing that on the spot?
On the 30th, after that first event.
Right.
And the 5 teams that will be advancing to the 7th of December, right, they will choose one. So on that list, we have like different meats, goats, crab.
And run that again. They are choosing that on what day?
On the 30th.
Okay, so for those who would be advancing, you will have at least a week notice to prepare and plan. Good, got it.
So, but the thing is that you will come with your spices because we don't know what's your secret ingredients.
Got you.
So you have to come with your spices, the seasons and stuff for that day, the 7th. And we will be preparing providing the meats and the other basics.
Right, so your main ingredients.
Yes. We provide that. So the timing, so I forget to mention the time. So on the 30th, it's from 10 to 2 p.m., 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Shore Park Food Hub. And on the 7th, it's from 10 to about 9, give or take, 9 p.m.
Right, and for those who are, is there a phone number or can they reach out to a social media platform for more info?
Right, so you can contact us at 380-2657.
And I want to bring Dr. Shepherd in because I know he's there. I see him smiling at the responses. So, Dr. Shepherd, good morning to you again, sir. And of course, I want to know what role you play in Bagel Beats. And I know in addition to this cuisine showdown, there's a special element that is also taking place. And I want you to speak to that as well.
Okay, so I think you're talking about the assistance for Jamaica, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we know in September 1963, Tobago was really badly hit by Hurricane Flora. And weather forecasting at that time was so bad that it was after Tobago was hit that we were told Flora is coming. By then, most of Tobago was already devastated. And the Caribbean helped Tobago to recover. St. Vincent, for example, sent breadfruit and things like that. So people in Tobago did not starve after. It was difficult. And now Jamaica has its hit from Melissa. We are all getting together to help. So we're asking people, when you come to the food hub, walk with canned items that we'll collect and ship to Jamaica to help in the relief effort. People from all over the world are helping. This is our contribution. Because Tobago is actually still in the hurricane belt. Things are getting worse. We don't know when will be our time, but we are okay for now. And let us help our neighbors when we can. That's part of this event at the food hub.
Right. So on the 30th, and of course the following, which is the 7th, right, Leanne?
The 7th.
So those who are participating, and of course we know how we roll in Tobago. It's not just the participants, but they're working with their groups, their support. So the call is for those of you who are coming on the 30th of November and the 7th of December. Don't just come to taste or sample, right? Walk with your non-perishable goods, canned goods in particular, so that you can assist our brothers and sisters in Jamaica. And Dr. Shepherd, I wanted to know, what role do you play in Bagel Beats?
Actually, I am part of the planning team.
Okay.
I was at the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute, you may not recall, as the Chief Executive Officer. So I have lots of experience in these kinds of events. So I'm part of this organization doing the detailed background planning, and a lot of work, hard work has to go in to make the event successful. What you see on the day is a result of a year or more of planning and detailed planning and hard work on implementation and execution. So that's in the background.
And Leanne, I want, of course, the viewers who are interested, if you can just share that number again, because I know that there are people who would be interested. And remember, the opportunity would be yours to represent Tobago in the Caribbean Cuisine Showdown, which takes place, is it in May of next year? Do we have a location for that yet?
Yes, it's at the Buku Heritage Park.
Okay, excellent. All right, so this is a very interesting event. Again, Tobagonians, show up, show off. You know, y'all are cuisine masters, right? I don't like to cook, but I love to eat. So when I tell you, I know we have great cooks around. I know what I'm talking about, right, Dr. Shepherd? And the call is simple process. You register on the day, walk with your dish on the 30th of November, you know, organize in the background your team because you know you're coming to win. And of course, the showdown, which is exciting. So when we have this showdown, because we have to wrap up now, are you inviting members of the public to be a part and cheer for their team?
Yes, of course.
And, you know?
Yes, yes. It's open to the public to come on down to the food hub and support the events.
All right.
And walk. And that day they walk with their can. They could walk with it on the 30th of November as well, but most on the 7th.
All right. I can't wait to hear about the teams. And I know we are creative people. And if you're registering your team, I know people will come up with their fancy names and, you know, and,
so
and their uniforms and not just the food presenting, but they too will present themselves. So to both of you and the rest of the team, Dr. Shepherd and Ms. Smart, thank you so much and all the best with this event. And we look forward to other events coming out from Bagel Beat. So thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Yes.
Viewers, at this time, we go for a quick break and we meet our second set of guests for this morning on GMT, so stay tuned.
We waiting so long, the people miss the bacchanal.
Tobago. The countdown is on for Tobago Day 2025. From November 27th to December 6th, the island comes alive under the theme One Tobago, One People, One Destiny.
The celebration begins with the Tobago Torch Run, led by the Chief Secretary, Assemblyman, and our proud sporting groups.
Then, on November 28th, the THA Triathlon takes center stage. On November 29th, we all head to the Shore Park Recreational Grounds for the Tobago Games, Sports and Family Day, games we used to play from 6 p.m.
Join us on December 2nd for the Thanksgiving Harvest Service at the Shore Park Complex from 10 a.m.
Bring your Tobago produce, share your blessings, and celebrate community. Then, December 3rd and 4th, discover our roots on the Scarborough Heritage Bus Tours. 2 daily departures at 9 a.m. and 1 p.m.
On December 4th, witness excellence at the Tobago Day debate beginning at 10 a.m. at the Assembly Legislature.
And the Tobago Day Awards ceremony, 7 p.m. at the Shore Park Complex.
And for the grand finale,
December 6th, the cultural concert and drone show lights up the Scarborough Esplanade from 7 p.m. It's all about Tobago Day 2025. One Tobago, one people, one destiny.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. Rooted in connection, driven by community. It's who we are at the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
Quartz is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Quartz Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Quartz Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules, or if you are having a cooking day off.
Thank you, viewers, for staying with us. You are viewing GMT Good Morning Tobago, and it is Friday, the 21st of November, 2025. And we continue with our guests this morning, and joining me virtually are Miss Ariane Farrell and Dara Healy. Both of them have something very important to share with us. Miss Farrell is the team lead of the regional and she is the Regional Case Management Unit. She is one of the members, of the Regional Case Management Unit of the Children's Authority, and Ms. Dara Healy, founder and managing director of ICANN. And both of these agencies are partnering with UNICEF to bring something very special to Trinidad and Tobago. And what I do appreciate about this program is that it is coming to Tobago. You know, sometimes Tobago is left out, but they ensured that Tobago is going to be a part of it. So good morning, ladies, and thank you for being with me this morning.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
And of course, we're getting right into it. We're talking about the community outreach campaign, and it focuses, of course, on children, on parenting skills, and we're talking about reaching our parents, our guardians in Tobago. Now, I know that these three organizations have come together for this outreach program. And what would have, inspired this? What would have initiated conversations to say, let's do this? And that's for any one of you. I'm not sure which one wants to take it first.
Okay, I will start. Good morning. So basically, the Children's Authority is a specialized agency that is responsible for the protection, care, and rehabilitation of children in the jurisdiction of Trinidad and Tobago. So this is why we felt it was important to equally include Tobago. The reason that we would have sought to collaborate with ICANN and UNICEF is because we recognize the trends based on the incoming reports that we receive. And currently, neglect is the highest reported type of child abuse, and we want to curb and arrest that, but we want to do so in a way that can really get the entire nation on board. And we felt that doing that would be best suited to come from the communities, and we thought that ICANN has such an established reputation and is doing such important work in communities that we felt that this was a really great partnership.
And of course, I want to bring Miss Healy in and share with us because we can't, we have to remember that some viewers may have never heard about ICANN. So tell us a little about ICANN and the work that you do.
My goodness, well, we have to fix that. So, ICANN is a culturally based non-governmental organization that was started in 2012. And our focus is empowering vulnerable populations, vulnerable communities through the arts, culture, and heritage. Our vision is actually healing through the arts, culture, and heritage. And so, what we have been doing even before ICANN was officially started, since in the 1990s, we have been going to communities and engaging with communities through the arts in order to talk about difficult subject matters and to help find solutions through the arts and through the theatre. And so for specifically this campaign that we are collaborating with Children's Authority and UNICEF on, we have two plays that we have written, that I have written, and there's one for Trinidad and one for Tobago. And they both introduce themes that the Children's Authority would have come across during their own engagement with communities over the years. So the plays are a catalyst for conversation. And so the theatre is really, in a lot of ways, the foundation and the motivation for the community to relax, to feel that they are able to now talk about difficult conversations such as parenting, such as how do I manage technology, how do I build more family time, and so.
And Ariane, if I can ask, we're talking about child neglect. What is child neglect? Because I know we may have a more concrete definition. Many of us in society, when we talk about child abuse, we think of, physical beatings. But when you talk about child neglect, exactly what are we speaking about?
Right. So you're quite right. We kind of associate child abuse with, giving children too much licks. But child neglect is the failure of a caregiver to provide a child with their basic needs. And this can come in many different forms. It could be where it's a physical neglect, where there is, inadequate provision of food items, clothing, shelter. It can be medical neglect, where a child's medical needs are not being attended to adequately. So they're not receiving proper health care. It can be educational neglect, where children are not receiving a proper education. In Trinidad and Tobago, our laws stipulate that children should be in school between the ages of 5 and 16, some form of schooling. And so if that's not happening, that's also a form of neglect. There's also emotional neglect, where a parent or guardian is not meeting the child's emotional or developmental needs, or is not supporting their psychological well-being. And then we also have lack of supervision, which is a very big deal in Trinidad and Tobago, where children are not provided with adequate supervision. And this, of course, lead to situations where children are in imminent harm or danger.
Right. And when we talk about child neglect, what effect on the children? Again, we can assume, but I want our viewers to really understand, what impact does child neglect have on our children?
Well, the impacts are far-ranging, both in terms of the types of effects that can be the outcomes, as well as long-term effects. So it's not the effects of child neglect can really be long-lasting, and this is really why we want to curb it, because we don't want to have persons going into adulthood with some of those effects from their younger years. So child neglect really can lead to poor health outcomes, because if they're not receiving the proper nutrition, the proper health care, we can have a population that is sickly and is not fit to work. It's also linked to higher cases of depression and maladaptive behaviors. And so some of the problems that we're seeing in society now with combative behaviors in schools, sometimes those are linked to child neglect. And then, of course, there is a real danger of physical harm, where children are not adequately supervised and, imminent physical danger can present because of that. And these, again, the effects of that and the trauma that can result from that can really be long-standing. And so this is why we felt it really important, especially as it's so common in our society, that it needs to be addressed.
Mm-hmm. And Dara, let me bring you in on the conversation again, because we're talking about ICANN's contribution, and you did mention, you wrote 2 plays and the drama presentation. So the attendees coming to this workshop, and soon we'll tell them when and where, can look forward to many things. Learning, yes, but I know when ICANN steps in, it's always fun, it's educational, it's always a memory to be created. And you mentioned something that stood out to me. You said you wrote 1 play, 1 production for Trinidad, 1 for Tobago. Why did you see the need to have that difference?
Okay, excellent question. That was because now I just would like to say that everything that we do is based on research and the needs of the particular community. So we would never go to a community and tell them what their solutions should be. And this is how we have operated over the decades. And so as part of this process, we held intense conversations with the Children's Authority, both in Trinidad and in Tobago. And so we recognize through these conversations that the needs and the way that child neglect manifests itself in both environments is slightly different. So in Tobago, for instance, we talked about the fact that there was a loss of extended family and community, which is something that's personally disturbing to me because, it's one of the elements that I really love about Tobago.
Yes.
And so that was one. And then we talked about a lot of suicide ideation as well. Single parents, single mothers feeling really as if they're not able to cope and as if they have very limited options. So which leads us to the next area, which is lack of feeling that there is a support system and a support network. So what we are doing as part of the workshop, we are also including the element of play. So we have games for grown-ups because a large part of the stress that families are facing is that we've just all forgotten how to play. From children to adults, everybody. We think play is a waste of time, but it helps children with their cognitive development, with communicating better, and it helps adults also to not take themselves so seriously, to step out of that zone of stress and being in a box of your own difficulties all the time. So we, as part of our approach, we have made the workshop process very engaging. And so when you come in and you register, we have games, we have moral, which we play in Trinidad. I'm not sure if you play it in Tobago, but we have moral. And even if you don't know it, we will teach it to you. And we have clapping games, we have skipping ropes, and we have painting. So we have a range of games that people can play as people come into the venue and wait for the workshop to begin. And then also an important part of keeping the engagement is that after the production is finished, and it's very short, it's nothing very long, after the production is finished, we have opportunity for the community to discuss the themes that they would have seen in the play. And what that does is it opens up possibilities for coming up with solutions, for looking at the community itself to see what are the gaps and what are some of the steps that people can take to improve their own situation. And we also have a lot of support services as well, so that what I talked about, not knowing what to do, we will have in the room support services so that people will be able to know where they can go for help.
It's not your typical sit down, listen, and go home. It's very interactive, and I love the fact that you mentioned play, because I think as adults we love to tell our children, don't play, sit there, you're making too much noise, and we don't realize how important play is. And for our teachers who would listen to this later on, please let our children play. That is what they do, right? So that's a whole different conversation, but let me talk to Ariane. Tell us about the workshop, who can attend, if there's a registration process, and where these workshops will be held in Tobago.
Okay, so in terms of who can attend, we want everyone to attend. We at Children's Authority, our mantra is child protection is everyone's business. Okay, so really anyone with a child in their life, parents, teachers, neighbors. You just mentioned how we want to send a little word to teachers about how important play is. So we welcome teachers, and really it's something that we want community engagement with. We want as many people to turn out. And so I will let Dara let you know exactly when the sessions will be.
Sure.
Okay, so we will be in Tobago on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week. On Tuesday, we will be at the Mariah Community Center. On Wednesday, we'll be at the Boko Community Center. And on Thursday, we will be at the Bell Garden Multi-Purpose Facility. Registration is from 5 p.m. And I just would like to let the viewers and listeners know that we will also be providing transport to support people to get to the venue, because we know that sometimes it is challenging, and the sessions are from 5 to 8 p.m. So people may have concerns about getting home after they had so much fun. So we want to just let you know that we will be providing transport for people who need it. And we also will have an area set aside for children. So if you are concerned that you don't have anyone to watch, to look after the little ones, you can bring them. And we also have a play area for the children as well.
So there is no excuse for anyone who needs to be at this workshop. You have transport, you have free babysitting, right? And when we talk about registration, and just to clarify, because most people associate a fee with registration, is there a fee for the registration?
No, absolutely not. It's free, and we're just interested to collect data for ourselves, just so that we could find out things like where specifically are you from, how would you have heard about our workshop, so we can know what works, what we can do better, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And as we look to wrap up, now viewers and listeners, no excuse, right? And somehow I have to figure out how to be there in one of those sessions, although I'm quite busy, but this is very important. And I think in our society, we think that some things no one can tell us about it. I'm a parent, nobody can tell me how to be a parent. I'm a teacher, I know what I'm doing. But we have to understand there's always learning. And when you have a support group, you sometimes handle things better and the stress, because it's not easy dealing with a child of yesterday and a child today. Two different elements, two different beings, I always say. And as adults, we have to learn to adapt as well. I'm not saying you let them run amok or be in charge, but you have to know how to adapt to that child and to bring the best, out of them as well. So viewers, next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, transport is provided. You have sitters. I will tell the viewers and listeners, you can't have everything for you, so walk with a little snack in your bag, right, in case you get a little hungry between the 5 to 8 p.m., and be present. Bring a neighbor, bring a friend. Those of you who are presidents in your school associations, PTAs, this is something that you can throw out to your PTA as well and be a part of it. And I want to thank you so much, ladies, for joining us and sharing. I think this is a great incentive, and I really hope that we take advantage of it and understand that Tobago is not left out, all right? Tobago is included, and something special was planned just for us. Yes, so thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here.
Right, and we look forward to having you all next week right here in Tobago conducting these workshops so that we can be better equipped and to be there for our children as we nurture them. So viewers, we go for a quick break. We are not done as yet. Coming up, one more interview. Very interesting topic, something that I have to learn more about, and I'm sure I will after during this interview. So I want you to stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning.
Quartz is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Quartz Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Quartz Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules, or if you are having a cooking day off.
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Thank you, viewers, for staying with us. You are viewing GMT. I'm your host, Natalie Seeley Richardson, and we have our very last interview for this morning, and it is with Mr. Matthew Webster, VP of Geospatial Technologies, Spatial Innovations Limited. And we are going to have a very interesting conversation as we talk about geographical information systems, or some may refer to it as geospatial information systems. Good morning, Mr. Webster.
Good morning.
All right,
Good morning, everyone.
Thank you for joining us this morning. And as we talk about this topic, I know for some persons it may be the very first time they are hearing about GIS. We're probably more familiar with GPS. So if you can first tell us, what is GIS and how it is used?
Okay, sure thing. So GIS stands for Geographic Information Systems, and it serves three main functions. It starts with a system of record. So you capture and you store all the data. And that's your system of record. And then now with that data, it serves as a system of insight where you can now manipulate that data, do analysis, and that also includes predictive analysis. As well. So, if you want to do any kind of weather modeling, any kind of modeling, predictive analysis is included in that. And then thirdly, it served as a system of collaboration where you can now share information from that GIS system to your internal stakeholders. You can keep it within your department, within your agencies, or if you want to include the public, you can also share the data directly from the public or share the data products to the public for their involvement as well. So let me know if that helps a little bit.
And of course, I know GIS is used across many sectors. I mean, it's about
Yes.
analyzing data, helping you plan. So it's in the health sector, agricultural sector, and maybe some persons don't even realize it's GIS. So can you give us like an example from any one of the sectors where it can become real? So we realize, oh, I didn't realize that is GIS and that is how we use it.
Sure thing. I guess I'll use a commonality that happened to all of us around the globe regarding the same health sector. So if you remember COVID, when we had that COVID in 2020, one of the things that became very popular during that time were COVID maps. Pretty much, collecting data from people that were traveling across the world still
Right.
Until before the shutdown, so you could track how the COVID spread was happening. So pretty much with a GIS system, you basically put those data points on a map and you can track them as they move. And then you can also identify like your COVID hotspots to know where is that hotspot in COVID, where is COVID tracking from, for instance, and any other underlying data. So let us say that you wanted to extrapolate that data to say how many men have COVID or how many women have COVID, how many people under the age of 18 have COVID. Once you start to put those data points on a map, you can then start to layer them based on the information that you're looking
Right.
for. So that was one particular use case that was pretty popular.
And I
Um,
think that
and
was a
in-
very good example to use because we all remember those maps and would be waiting to see
Yeah.
it, to know what's happening
Right, for
around
sure.
the world and even in our local communities. And as you mentioned, even the
Yes.
example of mapping. And again, just for viewers to really understand how GIS is part of our everyday living. When we talk about urban development, we talk about housing plans, we talk about even when the TTPS, our police service, presents their crime reports, we are able to see where the so-called hotspots are, plans, etc. So if you didn't know it, viewers and listeners, you have been using GIS, you have been looking at the data prepared by, GIS, and it's just all around us. Before you continue, I want to ask you, and I know
Even Google Maps when they drive around is another simple application that a lot of people use.
Right, exactly. So it's really about mapping, getting data, analyzing, and getting information so that we know where we are, we know where we came from, and we can plan. So when we talk about, GIS as well, and you represent a company, if you can tell us a little bit about your company, maybe some of the work involved in where you're located as we continue this conversation.
Okay, sure. So we are Spatial Innovision Limited. We've been around for 27 years now. We have two offices, two physical offices, one in Trinidad and one in Jamaica. And we serve 15 English-speaking Caribbean countries. So we serve exclusively from Bahamas down to Guyana. For our upstream partners, Esri, who prepared the ArcGIS technology. Additionally, along with the GIS software, we do also supply complementary hardware. So anything that you need to make your data more precise. So when you're doing things like surveying, you may need down to 1 centimeter accuracy for your assets. But if you're
Right.
utilizing GIS, you may need only 30 centimeters. So you would need enhancements to ensure that you're getting the right accuracy. So we also provide stuff like that. And additionally, we do training, we do provide support. And if you need like technical assistance, we can also come in and help to set up your infrastructure as well.
Right.
Yeah, so that's a few things that we do here at Spatial.
And of course, our viewers may be wondering why this topic this morning. Of course, we have global days and particular days of emphasis. And of course, GIS is one of them. In fact, there's a week to recognize, that industry and the contribution of GIS to our everyday living. And hence, we thought it wise to expose our viewers and our listeners, for you to learn something and to be reminded of. But let's talk a bit about career paths. We have a lot of young people who are thinking of career paths, we know that certain professions are quite saturated and for lack of exposure may not know that there's a career path in GIS. I know Yui has a degree, I think it's an undergrad and a master's degree in the area. So tell us a little bit for that person who may find this topic interesting and may want to explore a career path.
Sure thing. So as you mentioned, growing up, we'd have been advised to become a lawyer, a doctor, common career paths.
Yes.
I will say that GIS has been around for maybe 40, 50 years. But as it relates to our region and becoming, cemented in our region, we've been maybe exposed to it for maybe about almost 30 years. However, with that, when we examine the market, there is a lot of space for more geospatial professionals. Whether you want to become a GIS analyst, where your role is now based on the data that is collected in the field, you now have to go through that data with very simple technology, to now inform your stakeholders. If you want to be more like an urban planner, you'd utilize GIS a lot, maybe. And then what we found, particularly with the recent devastation of Hurricane Melissa, there's a need for something as simple as a licensed drone pilot. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit alternative to the career path, you could look at becoming a licensed drone pilot. There's a need for that. They need more GIS analysts. So currently the data that's being captured after Hurricane Melissa is actually being processed by a team in Trinidad as well, through collaboration, because it can stretch past borders. It's technology, and they're supporting that effort as well. So you may work in different agencies as well, because we do serve multiple agencies in Trinidad. Your CSO, TT, your telecommunication sector in TT, TATT, along with many other petroleum companies. So we do serve in those industries as well. So even if you may not consider yourself a GIS person, you still can work within those kind of organizations, and maybe not a specialist GIS organization, because it can stretch across multiple sectors. So I would say to find an industry or a sector that you are really interested in, and then I would say that GIS can be applied to that in any way. Yeah.
Right. And let's talk about some of the maybe elements or concerns that may pop up when looking at GIS, because it is a collection of data, right? Some of it may be people information, their personal data. What part does ethics and privacy play in handling, GIS data?
Okay, good question. So the starting point of that is our upstream partners, who are Esri, we do take data privacy and data security very seriously.
Right.
So from the technology aspect of it, it is built in a robust way to ensure that your data is private, it's secure. Also to note that the data that you as an organization hold, it is held by your organization. So we, Spatial Innovation, nor our upstream partners, Esri, do not have access to that data. They just provide the infrastructure. Now, if it is that you want to share that data, then you can open it up. So it starts, I talk about people data and information like that. Most times that kind of data is collected maybe by the statistical agencies within your country. So it's more about, how are they protecting the data on that side. We would just prepare the infrastructure for them to put that data. But again, we don't have access to that data unless you grant us access to that data, which in most cases we don't need, but only if maybe you want us to help you with like a technical setup, help you to create a solution, then you may want to share access with us. But for the most part, everything is with you and your organization, and you have the ability to retain that data for yourself. And again, you can share that with one person, you can share that within your department, or you can share that publicly. So you become the administrator of the organization and determine how you want that data shared. But everything is secure because this platform is utilized by the United States Department of Defense. It's utilized globally by these very secure agencies. And then you can determine if you want to store your data, whether it's on premise at your physical infrastructure, you want to store it at your offices, or if you want to go on the cloud infrastructure, which we've seen more of that happening, where more people are putting their data in the cloud, whether it's via Microsoft Azure or Amazon Web Services, or somewhere else of your choice.
Right, there are many options. And when we look at GIS, and now that many of us have a better understanding of it, we see the importance of it, and one will see the benefit of GIS in across all the sectors. But what may be a challenge a GIS professional can encounter, and how can they overcome that challenge?
All right, so I can talk about two that we've kind of come across a lot, which GIS helps to solve. So one, we've seen where agencies collaboration is a big issue. So you find that you as a GIS person may be working in your organization and you don't have the data that you want, and you may end up saying, hey, you might commence a project where you're going to go out, commission a project where you go out and collect that data. And what we found in some instances is that there's a duplication of work. So you may be going out for data that has already been captured by another agency. And it does help to solve that too. Another one is, it's just generally, I guess, learning about the tech. So with our systems, once you have access to it, you automatically get training. You automatically have access to training, which is a part of your packaging, as well as support, as mentioned. But outside of that, the collaboration is a big thing. And I would say that because it's technology, there's a continual learning process, because now we're in the age of artificial intelligence, which has been some of those deep learning models are now included within our software, and that would help you to do that predictive analysis. And we'd have seen that recently with again the passage of Hurricane Melissa, where the government of Jamaica wanted to do a rapid damage assessment. But as you can imagine, the pole lines were down, all of those things, they couldn't easily get that access. But through the use of artificial intelligence and some of those deep learning packages, we could take some imagery from satellites and do a quick kind of damage assessment now, that when people on the ground can go out and validate. So the technology keeps moving fast, and AI, as you know, is a big talking point. That is also included. So it's just to keep upskilling yourself and get familiar with the technology, I would say.
And how long have you been working as a GIS professional?
I have been in it now for maybe 5.5, going 6 years. But I would say that I've been exposed to it maybe a little bit longer, but being in it probably about almost 6 years. Yeah.
And what would have inspired you to choose that area?
Short answer. I was initially brought on board to help to market it. Because it's such a complex, as you say, not a lot of people know about it. So what you find within the industry is that most of the people that work and are passionate about GIS, they're more technical background, they're more technical. So my role initially to come in was to help to simplify that for the non-technical person, make it very, very simple, so to speak. So that was how I got involved. And after doing that for maybe about 2 years, I was brought on board now to actually help customers, like to listen to the problems that they're having and help to say, all right, if this is what you're trying to achieve, this is how we can build an infrastructure around it, and then kind of mold it into that, so to speak. Yeah, so that was my journey.
Of course, I want to thank you for sharing with us as we commemorate GIS Day and, of course, the week, learning about GIS and how it's all around us. I want to thank you, Matthew, for taking some time this morning and simplifying this concept so that we can have a better understanding of it.
All right. Thank you so much. I just want to share two quick things just for the simple. So Spatial Innovision, if you have any interest about GIS, any questions, you can reach out to us on Instagram. That's Spatial Vision. That's SPATIAL Vision on Instagram. And for anybody that wants to learn about GIS, there's a website that is whatisgis.com. So WHAT is GIS.com, and that will give you a simplified breakdown of GIS. They spent a lot of time working on that, so you can check out that resource as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Matthew, again for sharing with us. And viewers, this brings us to the end of our GMT Good Morning Tobago this morning. I trust you learned. I trust you are getting ready for that workshop next week. You have 3 options. So if you can't go Tuesday, there's Wednesday, Thursday. You must be able to make time to attend something so important and to have fun and learn and to make friends, find a new support system or strengthen existing ones. So thank you again for staying with us. It is Friday. The weekend has begun. And as I always encourage us, you are your brother's keeper. Let's stay safe